So let's take a look at your pieces that you're assigned to for this week, April 6th. So I'm moving ahead in the book a little bit. I wanted to ease into our April 6th assignments and not hit ourselves right up with a new rhythm right away. I wanted to get these key signatures steady and feeling comfortable. So if you notice under week April 6th, it says that your pieces for this week are on page 79 and 81. So let's turn to page 79 together, and let's actually look at the second piece on page 79, the Slovak song. So on page 79, let's take a look at this bottom one together. And so I want us to take a look at all the information now that we're given. So as we talked about, as we would start key signatures, you're going to have all the information that you need to know how to set up your hands, which makes you much more independent, which works well for the situation that we're in right now. So with Slovak song, take a look at the beginning of the piece. We have our two staves. So the top one for the right hand is telling me treble clef, for everything will be above middle C. That bass clef is telling me my left hand's going to use everything below middle C. The next information that you're going to get, so here's my clef information, the next information you're going to get right here is your key signature, or what we were practicing on page 72. So looking at this key signature for Slovak song, I've got that key of 1 flat. So if you think back to what we were just working on in the last video lecture with key signatures, 1 flat is the one that does not work for my flat trick, because your trick for figuring out a key signature with flats is next to last flat is tonic. I only have 1 flat. So you need to memorize from that circle of fifths. Remember, C at the top having no flats, flats going counterclockwise, so counting down a fifth, C, B, A, G, F. So 1 flat tells me that tonic is F. The next information that you're always given at the beginning of a piece then is going to be that time signature. We've been working with time signatures for a long time here, so I have 3/4, so that's 3 beats in a measure and a quarter note getting 1 beat. So to build F, that means that tonic is going to be F. So in my right hand, I've got tonic, whole step, half step, whole step. So I have white, 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 black, white. Tonic is F. That's what that key signature has told me. For my left hand, I've got tonic on F, finger 5, whole, half, whole. So now you have your position without me having to tell you that F is tonic. As you look at Slovak song, we've talked a lot about coordination and looking at parallel or contrary motion. It's parallel motion the whole way through, isn't it? So I would do some tapping of that rhythm with your hands together to feel how it's moving. Notice that it's moving parallel motion the whole way. Once you start your hands on that C at the top, you should be able to handle it all the way down. Notice that there aren't flat signs by the B's. They don't need to put that anymore. When a composer lists what's flat or sharp at the beginning of a piece in the key signature, it lasts for the whole key signature. It lasts for the whole piece. Once you find that hand position, you're going to keep that second finger in the left hand, fourth finger in the right hand, parked on that B flat. Those B's will always be flat unless you see a natural. Look at the piece right above it, folk song on page 79, the top one. This one I'll often bring up in class, and I'll ask people, what's the key signature? And everybody has a little bit of a slight panic attack because they think it's missing or they don't see it there. Remember that a key signature can be nothing. A key signature can be no flats or sharps. If a hand position doesn't have any flats or sharps like you see on folk song at the beginning of page 79 here, tonic is everybody's favorite. It is C. So it's just a matter of looking to see, do I want to be on middle C for my register? Yes, I do. And then lining up your left hand. The other page I'd like you working on this week is page 81. Let's just take a look at those together. On page 81, the top piece, unison melody. Let's look at the information we're given. First thing we're seeing is the clefs. So again, my right hand's in treble, my left hand's in bass, so that's telling me above and below middle C. I do not see any flats or sharps, so tonic is going to be C. The next thing I see is my time signature. We talked about this one of the last times we were together in class. This time signature of a C, remember, was an abbreviation for common time, or the most common time signature when this abbreviation started being used, which is 4-4. Again, this is should be a fairly easy piece for you to do. Lots of parallel motion. Watch your quarter rest. Make sure that you're lifting off your hands and indeed hearing rest there. The last piece that you have for this week, so there's 4 pieces you should be working on plain, and then you've got your key signature worksheet page that you're working on, is Old Aunt Kate on the bottom of page 81. So Old Aunt Kate, if I take a look at this one, I put the key signature up here for us. Remember, again, it's your choice whether you want to figure out that key signature for that right hand, which is in treble, or the left hand, which is in bass. They are always going to match. They'll be the same. Otherwise, it would have different tonics in our 2 hands, and we know that our tonics are always going to be the same. So this time I do have a key signature of 4 sharps. So think through, what is your shortcut for 4 sharps? The shortcut is to find the last sharp that was added. I happen to put it in bass clef on my board just because I think it's good to challenge yourself to work it through in your weaker clef. So my last sharp added is going to be here. I'm looking through the middle of that sharp to see if it's on a space or a line. It's on this 3rd line, so great big dogs. So I have a D sharp. My hint to you is to find it on the piano, or find a picture of your keyboard in your book somewhere if you're without a piano. Find a D sharp. Now remember, there's 2 steps to this sharp rule. Not only do I have to find the D sharp, I need to walk up how far? Half a step. And that's going to give me a tonic of E for Old Aunt Kate. So my thumb would take that E, a whole step would put me on F sharp, whole step on G sharp, half step on A, whole step on B. My left hand tonic is on finger 5, whole step to finger 4, whole step to finger 3, half step to A, whole step to B. There is my hand position for Old Aunt Kate. Again, if you look at this, you've got parallel motion all the way through, so it shouldn't be a hard one with coordination. It's a great one to practice on a not plane surface to watch that parallel motion. 3, same, up, skip. 3, same, up, skip, up, same, up, down, down, down. That's a terrific way to practice. You've got all 8th notes, so make sure that they're nice and even. And you've got some great articulations to put in this one. Really make those staccatos crisp. Your 2-note slur, again crisp. 2-note slur, crisp. And then you've got a slur. So lots of great articulations for you to work on. Dynamics, forte at the beginning. A little bit softer mezzo forte on that 2nd line, and then notice you've got that crescendo sign. There we go, at the next or last 2 measures, so gradually getting louder all the way till the end. So those are the 4 pieces you should be working on this week, and then page 72 is a written. Work through what it says for April 6th. You have your options for plain. I want to hear one of these pieces with the key signatures and articulations, and then you've got your key signature worksheet to get to me. Remember that if you want to FaceTime or Zoom, you want some one-on-one instruction, please just shoot an email. I'm happy to connect with you that way. Happy to answer email questions as well. So I hope you enjoy these 4 pieces this week and learning more about key signatures. If you want more practice on key signatures, Google it. You'll come up with a whole lot of worksheets. Also, if you want to send me an email, I'd be happy to send you some extra ones too, or we can go back and forth if you feel like you need more practice on them together. All right, key signatures and your 4 pieces here on 81 and 79 for this week of April 6th.